All right, people, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to, introduce you guys to two of these little gems I have. Not my kids, something else. It's a long story behind it, but let me get this thing out and I will show you guys from there. Alright, so here's one of them. This is a 1978 Yamaha DT-250. It's got 3,600 miles on it, almost 3,700. So I guess what I really want to do is just kind of tell you guys how I got these things and, you know, the story on them, the background. So when we were kids, my mom passed away when I was 5, so we lived with my grandparents for, you know, majority of our life. Me and my two brothers, and you know, we always had toys. You know, we had tons of stuff to ride, and we always wanted to ride this bike for some reason. I don't know why, what it was about it, but my grandpa told us, he's like, oh hey, there's a fly right on the screen. My grandpa always told us, he said, if you guys can pick it up, start it, you guys can ride it. So, you know, we'd team up, pick it up, put it up against the garage, and we'd get it started. We'd kickstart it, get it going. We drove this thing around for a little bit, and I remember my little brother rode it, and, you know, we were probably like 10, 11 years old when we were riding this thing around. And my brother came around the corner on a gravel road, and he hit the front brake instead of the back brake, and he ended up, you know, obviously falling over on it. And when we brought it back, I think we dented up the gas tank or something, and my grandpa said, well, I can obviously tell one of you guys crashed it, so you guys are done, no one's riding it anymore. And, you know, I'm 24 now, about to be 25 next month, you know, so that was 14 years ago, somewhere around that time. And maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, when I was up north visiting my grandpa, I asked him, I said, hey, you remember that bike we used to ride? You know, do you still got it? What are you doing with it if you do? And he's like, yeah, you know, first person to give me $400 can have it. And it didn't run. So my grandpa don't sell anything. He don't get rid of anything. He don't sell it. He don't give it away. He's a hoarder. He loves everything. So I was joking around with him, and I said, hey, I'll take it back downstate, I'll get it running, I'll let you know if I give you $400 for it. And yeah, I was just joking with him because I didn't think he'd let me take it without giving him money. And he's like, sure, yeah, take it down there. So I didn't really do anything with it at first, but, you know, maybe like a couple months later, this is summer, my grandpa calls me and says, hey, Merry Christmas. I'm like, are you losing your mind, Grandpa? It's summer, it's not even Christmas yet. And he's like, no, Merry Christmas, you can have that bike for Christmas. I'm like, oh, wow, cool, thanks. And, you know, just for my grandpa to give it away, I mean, shows that he wanted me to have it for some reason, I guess. You know, out of my two brothers, out of all three of us, you know, I guess I would say I was the one that liked to work on stuff the most. You know, I like to wrench. So I think that's why he wanted me to have it, because, you know, I would do something with it. I wouldn't just sell it and trade it for something or whatever. So got the thing running. Me and my buddy Kody put it on the front porch when we were living in our other mobile home. Put it on the front porch, took the carb off, cleaned it out, and I think the thing started second kick, and it's been running ever since. So shortly after that, I rode the bike over to my buddy's house, which is a couple miles away, and I started stripping it down. You know, I was kind of getting nervous because it's an old bike, and I didn't know if I broke something, if I could find parts for it or what. So I started stripping it down. I stripped it down to the bare frame, and every single nut and bolt that was on this bike I polished, painted. You know, halfway through that build, my buddy, I think, was moving, or he just wanted the room. So we ended up putting everything in boxes and we brought it back to my house. I was really nervous at that point because I thought for sure that I was going to lose parts to it, and I did not want to do that. That was, you know, well, I don't want to lose parts. I don't know what I could find again. So basically I ended up stripping everything down and repainted it. I polished the wheels, I polished the forks, I polished the bars. I mean, I did absolutely everything on this bike. I took apart and cleaned, and I was so excited to show my grandpa that I not rebuilt it, that I just kind of like did a somewhat of a restore on it. We ended up putting it in the trailer. We were heading up north for the 4th of July, the same place where we destroyed the Jeep. And on the way up there, the ratchet straps snapped on the trailer, ended up falling over, and it took me forever to find the stickers for the tank. There wasn't many of them out there, I guess. So it ended up peeling all this up, just destroyed it, hit the fender right here, and it gouged this up too. I mean, it just completely destroyed every single thing on this bike. But these plastics were kind of in rough shape. You know, I didn't I didn't take my time on painting them. You know, I should have sandblasted, or not sandblasted, I should have sanded them really well, primed them really well, painted them. This kit came with a bunch of stickers. Came with the 250, the Yamaha, there's an Enduro one on the other side, and it came with the whole kit. When I got the bike, it just had the tank. It didn't have these ones on there. So I don't know if this was like an original design or if this was something that somebody just made. But I painted all the motor black, painted the exhaust. Justin Big Hoss, where we both used to work at a powder coating shop, he was still working there, I wasn't, so he powder coated the frame for me. I got brand new tires put on it, which I got to get this one reseated or something because it bounces when you drive it. I ended up putting a battery in it, and something, I don't know if the battery just took a crap. I've tried recharging it and it didn't do anything, so I think I'm gonna end up having to buy a new battery for it. This is just in the way right now. This tucks back up through here and it wraps up back around and comes up. But I had everything on this bike working. I had the turn signals. I had it stored somewhere not too long ago, and where I think somebody knocked it over and broke the clutch lever, so I got to find one of these, another clutch lever. Yeah, I had everything working on it. I had the turn signals. Yeah, I had the brake lights. I bought all new bulbs for it. Still got a plate on it from '88. But the tank had a huge dent, like I was telling you guys. I had a huge dent right here. So I found a trick online that fill it with water, put it in the freezer, and it dents, you know, it popped the dent out, and it actually worked. But it took forever to get the water out of it again, and then it rusted the inside of the tank. So I had to put some cleaner inside of it and get all that out of there. And yeah, I mean, the bike's been running good ever since. I barely ever ride it, you know, just because of where we live right now. You know, we're back in a park, and we just moved here not too long ago from a house, and we just moved here because it was closer to work, and you know, I didn't really want to buy a house at the time. I wasn't really sure on where I wanted to go, if I wanted to be here or back up north. But yeah, I barely ever ride this thing, but you know, I could not ride this thing for 2 years and it would start second kick every single time. Yeah, it runs really good. We'll start it up real quick for you guys. Just see. That first kick, we rode it around yesterday, so I mean, it's not surprising that it started on the first kick, but I mean, it's still got the original key in it. The key works for the door down there, for the compartment for your tools, and it's got a key right here for your helmet. Everything works, runs really good. the kill switch. You know, it's got a kill switch, but when I put the throttle back on, I think there's something grounding out underneath it, because if I plug it back in, I have it disconnected right now. Where'd I got it disconnected. If I plug it in, it won't fire, and I don't know why, but that other wire is right down in here somewhere to plug it into. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that one. I just kind of wanted to share a little story about it, but I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna strip it back down again. I think I want to redo it like a lot nicer than I did last time. You know, spend more time on it with painting and polishing and cleaning. So yeah, I think that's it for that one, but we'll get this other one out too. We'll show you guys this one. So this one is a 1972 Honda CL-100, and I mean, it looks like a big wire mess right now, but nothing's disconnected over there. Just got to have the battery and put the wires back up in the clips that are in there. So I guess the story behind this one is my grandma used to actually ride this around when she was younger. My grandma and grandpa used to drive both of these things around. My grandpa has another one. It's a 72 Honda 360 that he used to ride around a lot. But these bikes, they didn't make in production for a whole lot. They made them from 70 to 73, and they had a couple different models. They had a CL, a CB, a CD, and I think like a CX or something. And basically this is just a version, it's a scrambler version of the other bikes. So it had a little bit beefier, and I think they came with dirt tires, so I'm not sure if these are the original tires or not. I doubt they are, but everything else seems original on this bike. Everything. They came in two colors. They came in banana yellow and Hawaiian blue. So this one right now currently is not running. I took the carb apart in it, or my buddy did, and there's a spring missing inside of it. So I think somebody tried getting it going before and they couldn't. But I think what I'm going to do is, I don't really want to order, I doubt this is the original carb for it too. I'm sure it's been messed with, but I'll probably order a new carb for it and a new ignition, because my grandpa has like 70,000 things up north with keys, and he has 4 or 5 buckets of keys, and I don't think he can find it. So I think I might just order the ignition. But this thing looks really dirty right now, but it's actually pretty clean. I mean, it's got a couple dents in the tank. There's one right here and a big one right there, and I don't know if there's, I mean, you guys can tell from the chrome right here. I mean, you can see where it's nice and clean and where it's dirty. So it'll polish up real good. I think I'm going to do the same thing I did to that one. Just tear it down, polish everything, clean it up, put it back together. This bike bothers me. I spent so much time cleaning that, and I let my cousin ride it one time out at my fiance's parents. I told him don't go through the mud, and he comes back caked. Comes back caked head to toe in mud. That kind of pissed me off, but whatever. I mean, it's a bike. I just want to try and keep it nice and keep it as clean as possible until, you know, whatever I do with it. But yeah, like I said, they made these from 70 to 73. They made them in 2 different color options, and I think the difference between all the other models to this one is this one came with the chrome exhaust with a heat shield, and it's supposed to be a little bit louder. I guess more of an aggressive sound, but we're gonna mess with this thing a little bit on the channel. So if you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have any of these old bikes, you guys have any tips on what to do, what not to do with them. But I mean, this, at the end of the day, it's still a motorcycle, and I can get her running, I know that. just what's going to entail to it. It does have good compression, so it's really interesting to me to have these things now, because I remember our house up north, you know, when I grew up in the UP, we had a house in the middle of nowhere. You know, it was just, I mean, it was not in the middle of nowhere, it was outside of town. Yeah, I remember as a kid, we had a house, a screen house next to our main house, and it was kind of like our little workout house. You know, it was like storage, I guess, for like our fishing stuff, workout stuff, hunting stuff. And them bikes sat beneath that. There was a like a parking structure underneath it, and there was a boat in there. And I just remember sitting there all the time just trying to get these things started. You know, I didn't really know what to do when I was 10 years old, but we just sit there and we'd try and kickstart them and kickstart them and kickstart them. We'd go get fuel and put fuel in them. And you know, now I'm older, I look back, I'm like, man, I never would have got them things started ever. I could have sat there and kicked them until now, and they probably never would have started until, you know, carbs were taken out and keys, whatever else. So I don't know, just a little video. We're gonna go up north, up to the UP, hang out there with my cousins for the day. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm going to be redoing these bikes soon. I want to get the one going. Once I get that one going, you probably strip it down. I just want to hear it run and drive it around first. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the help so far, and enjoy your day.